We're fine.
Hello, everybody. It's 1933 again. It's been less than 24 hours. We're sitting here with Whiskey Lindy, Allison, Lauren, Bull Riding Steve, and the man of many faces and voices, Strider. But before we get right into all of that, I will let you know that we did, in fact, have a bonus episode last night on Saturday, dealing with one Elijah Sawyer, otherwise known as Derelict, otherwise known as Chrysanthemum. The list goes on and on. You might want to check that out. We'll do a brief recap because it doesn't necessarily play into the role of the Olympians right here, but you kind of want to know why Greta and Elijah show up the way they do and how they look and wearing maybe different clothes. We'll see. But let's start off right now, as we always do. Allison, how are you this Sunday?
Hey, Greg. Hey, everybody. It's Allison. I play Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. And in the last 24 hours or so, she may or may not have accidentally killed a half a dozen federal agents she thought were mobsters. And that's the best thing that's happened to her today. So tonight's going to be super exciting. I can't wait.
Great, and that's probably the best way you could have summed up the lead in to tonight. Lauren, how are you doing? How's Sabella doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm freaking fantastic, Greg. I'm so excited to one day be friends with you again. My name is Lauren. I'm that salty ginger. And tonight, my favorite night of the week, I play Miss Sabella Maria Ives of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, the fully intact, beautiful Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. She is just in a great mood. Everything's going super well for her. She's psychic. She is very perky. And I'm just very much looking forward to tonight and all my friends being here.
She's psychic?
No,
I hadn't
no.
heard that yet. Okay, great. Good stuff. Let's go over to Mr. 8 Seconds himself. Steve, how are you doing tonight as opposed to last night?
I'm doing good. I did watch the beginning yesterday. I am alive. I'm back. How's everybody doing? I played Dwight Burke. Dwight's probably doing his best, I guess, rear window with the NPCs in a wheelchair looking out the window, making sure no one's coming. We'll see how that plays out. And I really want to say a good job last night to Lindy and Strider. They were definitely awesome.
All right, well, fuck you for that. Lindy, Strider, you guys were great last night.
You too. You always, brother.
It
You
is too
always.
late. It is too late. I will remember that when it comes time to roll them dice.
Oh, yeah, look, Greg can pick on Steven for once.
Anywho, as we move away from the failed bull rider, Strider, how are you doing, my friend? It's been only 22 hours since the last time we spoke, but...
Yeah, deja vu. It's like I was just here.
Right.
On to a man who's never been called the 8-second man, Elijah Sawyer, charming southern gentleman and crime boss and military leader and absolutely anything he wants to convince you he is. I'm still trying to compose myself after last night. It was an emotional roller coaster, but I'm here. I'm ready to drop some bombs and maybe kill our doctor, so I'm hyped.
What a segue, as always, my friend, from killing one that has pledged to do no harm. Let's go right over to the lady herself, Dr. Greta Von Krause. Lindy, how are you doing?
She pledged to do that at some point? Wow.
Isn't there like an oath you take?
I mean, at least there is in the United States, but I received my medical training in Munich in the 1920s, so,
Okay.
But yeah, I am super excited to be Dr. Greta von Krause this evening, as she's learned a whole lot of interesting things about Elijah Sawyer. Maybe he's learned some interesting things about her as well, and hopefully not get shanked by him, because, I feel like after what happened last night, she relates to him a bit more than the rest of the Olympians. and there'll be some exciting stuff going on tonight. So yeah, I'm Tea Lindy tonight, not Whiskey Lindy. So we'll see how this goes.
Aw.
I know.
Okay. We'll take it. But yeah. So we right now at the end of last episode to kind of catch you up. What Allison said about Kate is correct. There were some federal agents that arrived at Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. Explosions and fisticuffs ensued. There were some atomized federal agents and some interesting cleanup work at the end of that one that even though Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore took a tremendous beating in the form of broken windows and scorched flooring and just general mayhem, the owner, operator of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, one Sabella, somehow was able to tap into a power that you all haven't seen before, but she has performed once in this very room and was able to restore the bookstore and, for all intents and purposes, make it look as if the agents never entered and that whatever fate befell them was localized to the street outside. So as we pick up the action, the last time we saw Kate O'Callahan, she was on the steps of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore looking at the street. Sabella was inside. Dwight, as he says, was playing a little Jimmy Stewart in a rear window as he was taken to 116th Street to one Syl Jefferson's apartment with both Albert Einstein, Syl Jefferson, and the now 18-year-old Ruby Foster. They were going there to presumably play backgammon, maybe do each other's hair. We were not really sure. Bridge. It was going to be a sleepover of sorts. What we were able to witness last night was what transpired during that Thursday evening with Greta and Elijah, where they went to one Green Garden Cafe, met with the Castillo crime family, were put through a series of tests, ended up being trusted by the family, and the implication of a very dire crime against said family was laid at the feet of one fiery individual, Phil Castillo. So as we pick up the action, I believe we will start where we should always start, at Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore. We have Kate outside, we have Sabella inside. If there isn't anything that either of you want to do, Dwight, if there's something you want to do, we can always fast forward to the morning. But if there's RP to be had, by God, we shall have it. But before we start, I want to let you know how you can interact with the game. You can contribute. You can give these people nat 20s. You can give them critical failures. Hell, you can become an Olympian. I'd vote for that. But as is the way of 1933, anything that you contribute to these people will be brought into the story. It will affect the story. It will change it for good or ill. Also, if you subscribe, you will be able to have 2 of these crits monthly. And if we reach our follower level and or our retweet level, everybody you see on screen will get advantage, which is a nice thing for them. I'm not a huge fan of it, but anyway, let's get back down to Kate and Sabella if they want to do anything.
Yeah, little something.
Okay.
Okay, so Kate is standing on the front steps of the bookstore, having just been asked to leave. And she stands for a few moments looking just lost, which is unusual for someone with a navigation score of 85. But then takes a deep breath, collects herself, and walks to the nearest intersection and starts looking for a cab.
As we mentioned before, because of the strange events, perhaps it was sewer gas, perhaps it was a malfunction in one of the automobiles.
Totally sewer gas.
It's something caused an explosion that rocked the middle of this neighborhood. Emergency vehicles have been dispersed, and so she has to go several blocks outside of the radius set forth by the emergency vehicles before she's able to find a cab, but she quickly does. Where does she tell it to go?
She directs it to the airfield where she last left her best friend, Calamity Jane.
Best friend Calamity Jane. So this is the airport on Staten Island, and as you are taken from Manhattan to Staten Island, the way somewhat familiar to you, it's been several months in the real world, but it hasn't been that long for Kate. And as you pull up to the airfield, there is a newly erected, or at least appears to be a newly erected, large chain link fence with barbed wire around the top of it. And the cabbie kind of leans back over the thing. And he says, "Ma'am, I don't think I can take you in anymore. It's locked up tight. This is government now. They bought the whole place."
Well, that's strange. It wasn't like this the last time I was here.
I don't usually come out to the island, but yeah, I knew that they used to. Yeah, it used to be open for certain traffic. I don't think I ever picked no one up here though.
Uh, what can I see through the fence? Is the buildings the same, et cetera, et cetera?
It looks the same, with the exception of one thing that seems to be a sign. And if you roll a spot hidden, I'll tell you what it says.
All right, then. Success.
It says, "Willkommen" in German. Welcome.
You're going to pay for this, Greg. I'm just telling you. Just between you and I, my friend.
What? How is it my fault? I am a traveler in 1933 with you all. This is news to me. It's a shock is what it is. I'm going to sit back and just have a drink real quick while we contemplate this shock.
Well, this day just keeps getting better and better. All right. Tell you what, let's head back. You take me to Harlem, please.
You want to go? Okay, sure, yeah. The cab driver, thinking only of the extended fare that has now fallen into his lap, turns the car around and heads back into Manhattan. And we will say, for the sake of brevity, that she does in fact make it to, I'm assuming, 116th Street in Harlem. But while all this is transpiring, during the travel montage that is the afternoon and evening of Kate O'Callahan, what is the afternoon and evening of one Sabella Ives?
The first thing that Sabella does is go up to the rooms upstairs and start packing away all the cots that were there and picking up anything left behind by the Olympians last time they were there and just gathering it in a neat little pile behind the desk. And it's pretty late, but she'll put in a call to a few locksmiths to come by the next day so she can start putting locks back on her doors. And then she goes out to a jazz club and gets drunk. And it's a great, great time, I'm sure.
It sounds like it.
It does, doesn't it?
It really, really does. And where does she go?
Oh, God. Where's open at that time? Not Googling anything.
And serving alcohol.
Oh, right.
You gotta go to a sneaky club.
Yeah, it's on the down low.
She wouldn't want to go to Harlem, would she? Because, I mean,
I love Harlem. Harlem is a wonderful place. I would love to go to Harlem.
There's the Palace Club up there.
Sure, that sounds like a totally innocent place to go, Greg. I'd love to go there.
Hey, you can go somewhere else. I'm just scrolling through my stuff here.
I would love to go there, to that place.
Okay.
Say it again. The Palace.
The Palace Club.
Club in Harlem.
It's either Palace or Plaza. I think it's Palace though. I'll double check on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's near the former apartment of Ruby Foster and family and the current apartment of Syl Jefferson, but it's not close enough where you could potentially run into anybody. Or
No.
the Olympians.
Why would they be there? I'm sure they're doing very serious things.
All right. Great.
Yep.
Hey, thanks
that's
for the
her
follow, Demo. Welcome to the party, pal. So as you walk into the club, it is a couple hours later. You are, what is the cocktail of choice, or is this just fanciness aside and it is just shots and liquor and...
It's definitely gin for Sabella when she's like this. Bathtub gin.
Just gin. Maybe.
I mean, it would
maybe
be
a little
moonshine,
ice.
but we're not in the South.
Right. So, okay. So the gin it is. The gin is flowing. The dancing is, the music is fantastic. The floor is, even on this Thursday night, the floor is covered with people that are just enjoying themselves, taking a respite from the weariness of the world as the depression is still in full swing. But inside this club, the only thing swinging are the dancers. So as you are sitting there drinking and sipping perhaps the certain number later of gin, the chair across the table pulls out and a figure sits down.
What does this figure look like?
Handsome, slick black hair, open throat, no tie, looks to definitely be of Italian descent. Last time you saw him, he was on fire inside your bookstore.
Why do I go anywhere? Everywhere is horrible. Ugh. That's what I do. I just go, ugh.
Hey,
yes?
He slides what appears to be almost like a pint glass of gin across to you. And he says, I am, this is a peace offering I come here with. I didn't mean to burn your bookstore or anything. It was, I didn't expect, federal agents to start getting killed. So it was, it's time for me to take my leave. And the only way I can do that, believe it or not, inconspicuous, where they can't see my face, is to have it covered with fire. So, I kind of had to do it, just in case like a shot came in or something, you know.
I don't recall the store being on fire. That's so funny.
Well, good. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, it's his
Isn't
time to
that
celebrate
great?
then,
Uh-huh.
Well, all right, maybe I'll have a little something to drink with you. You mind if I sit? Can I? Can I sit here?
I
Have a
mean,
drink?
you're already sitting, so you might
can
as well.
leave.
It's a free country.
I can leave. I mean, it's up to
You
you.
can sit.
Oh, okay. Well, he kind of signals over, and you can see that a drink that has already been started and a cigarette that has already been half smoked appears in an ashtray, a marble kind of a cube ashtray, and his drink is set down, and he kind of puts it up and offers you a toast and says, "Hey, to bookstores that ain't burnt down, right?
Isn't
This
it
ain't-
just great?
This ain't Germany, right?" Kind of felt bad about that, but so
So how do you do that?
what's that?
Your
Oh.
fun little disguise.
Well, it's like an old family recipe. Something like that. I don't know if you know, like, there's certain families that are good at things. Like, you can have a family that's, like, really good at, like, playing the trumpet. And then, like, the son just sucks at playing the trumpet. But then, like, the grandson is, like, fucking great at playing the trumpet, right? Well, I'm like the grandson that's just fucking great at turning on, fire.
Yeah, my family's kind of like that too.
You don't say.
I do.
Holy shit. Well, Grant. Give me 1 second, everybody. Oh, bad boy Grant is here. And Grant, this one's coming with your name on it. You son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are some choice words for all the people right now.
So yeah, you don't say that you you know, your family's special too, you say.
Mm-hmm.
What do you-
Real good at operating bookstores.
Good
That's all.
readers, right?
Yeah.
Like you read stuff.
Yeah, like books.
We'll go with just reading, right?
Oh boy, I'm going to drink more.
I agree. Hey, to readers and burners and all this shit and trumpet players and stuff like that, right? So,
Yeah.
have you ever, what are you doing with that group you're with? Like the doc and the soldier and, I mean, they don't seem like readers, if you know what I mean.
Oh dear. That sounds an awful lot like prying for information.
Does it? Well,
Yeah,
that's
just
awful.
a little.
How about I say it like this? Hey, my coworkers suck. Tell me about yours.
Who are your coworkers exactly?
Ugh, family. Fucking working with family. Am I right?
Yes, that's
Woo!
the worst.
It is the worst. You know, you can tell someone to go fuck themselves and then boom, Thanksgiving right across the table.
So awkward.
Right?
I wouldn't exactly call them my family.
I wouldn't call my family either. So, hey. Right?
Right.
Good. Well, hey. You know, do you ever think this not family that you are forced to work with, do you think that you'd ever like want to work with somewhere else, you know, like maybe like if there's some like fringe benefits, someone offered you like a competitive package perhaps?
What is it about people calling me in Harlem and drinking with me in Harlem that people want to offer me to work with other people? It's very confusing.
It is. And you know what? I should apologize. Obviously, I have information. You know, everybody is holy shit. And here comes Summer to counteract everything that Grant is trying to do. Yeah. 3 critical successes to everyone from Summer to counteract whatever the hell it is Grant has coming in.
I knew I felt
3
an
each?
angel
3 each, yes.
What?
right here.
Christ.
I love this. This honest to go. I'm gonna have to take a break real quick. The fact that it's Grant, bad boy Grant, and a person called Summer. There couldn't be anything. It's evil and against Summer. It's, you know, death incarnate against life, against Summer. It's the best. It's a story for the ages. It's epic
That's about
poetry.
how I describe it too.
I love being a part of it. I will have to admit, though, I'm a bit biased as Grant is my tag team partner. Anyway, back into it. As we get in, and he looks over at you and says, you know, I respectfully, I have information. I know that you're here. You know, I'm not as forthcoming, obviously. But
You should work on that. People are not good at that nowadays.
Well, let me tell you this. Now, do you consider yourself a good judge of people?
No.
No?
But right now, I feel like I am. Just in this one particular instance. But go
Well,
on.
How about we do this then? And he takes a draw of a cigarette, leaves it in his mouth, and extends his hand across the table, palm up toward you. You're a good reader, right? You ask me one question. One question. And you'll get your answer. How about this? How about I give you one?
Oh, sure. Just
You can
the
ask whatever you
music
want, but I'll give you
plays.
one that you might want to know.
Uh-huh.
Ask me whether or not I'd kill Dietrich if he walked in here right now.
I drop my glass.
He motions over, and another gin is brought. Clean this up. You got some faulty fucking glasses around here or something, you know? Make it was frosted. They get some frosted fucking glasses, would you? I mean, Christ almighty. This better be on the house. That's a shit ton of gin in there. And he again turns back. So, is that a good question? Is that presumptuous? I mean, I don't know.
You know all about that from your family? That's not the question. That's just a question.
You mean, like, how do I know about the kraut and these assholes in the city and, the fact that you're an excellent reader? That's kind of an intimate question. Like, if you rolled over in the morning and said, hey, is it your family? And I looked over across the pillows to you and I said, I'd give you my answer. But right now, in the club, I don't know. That's a touch personal. Now, if you want to ask me if I kill somebody,
I mean, I don't know that I necessarily have to read you to figure that out.
Okay. Well, do you trust me? You said you were a terrible judge of character. I'm trying to play to your strengths here, Miss Ives.
Yeah,
owner
there we
of the
go.
Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore.
Yes, I like the full formal title. Sure, that sounds as good as anything.
Well, let's do it then, How tough could it be? And he says, would I kill Herr Dietrich if he walked in this fucking joint? Yes, sure. I would. I would burn him the fuck down. And he puts his hand out. Now, tell me if I'm lying.
Oh, she's so drunk. Okay. Yep.
It is uncontested.
Creepy.
Unless, of course, you decide to go deeper, he is telling you the truth. That should Dietrich walk in, he is going to burn him down.
Can I glean anything else, Greg?
You can certainly try. A power check would have then come into play.
But I got this fun crit from Summer.
You do. And if you want to burn them now before grand shit reveals itself, that's perfectly fine with me.
I will ignore that because it does not matter. And
do you know what type of fucking guy Grant is?
Oh, he really doesn't need to know what type of person I am. So, yes.
Okay, so you're going to use your crit?
Boop.
What would you like to know?
Anything specifically, I guess, about the fire.
That he creates?
No, the other fire.
Oh, no, I didn't know if you meant like a specific instance or a...
His fire.
That's probably his closest guarded secret. But what you do get is a very strange effect. And much like the books that she reads and much like the life that she lived before the Olympians, maybe during the Olympians, everything comes in a symbol, sort of, for Sabella. And she sees very much like a hall of mirrors. And you see him reflected in these mirrors, and he looks different, older, different dress, slightly different, hair color's different. It's obviously some type of lineage. And you see that in these hall of mirrors, 1 every 5 is burning. And you feel him pull his hand back from you. Oh, you went fucking fishing, didn't you?
I am excellent at fishing. I'm very nosy.
You were fishing. You were fishing for fucking sure, right there.
We can just say it was the gin.
Let's say that. Yeah. Let's say that. He puts his hand back out. You like this music? I like this music. I come here a lot. That's a lie. This is the first time I've been here. I like the music. You want to dance?
Sure.
Nice. A reader and a light to read by. Let's go. And you go out on the dance floor and begin to dance around as we cut several blocks over and up as Kate gets to the hallway in 116th Street. And as she gets there, she sees outside the front door of the apartment she knows to be still Jefferson, an 18-year-old Ruby Foster staring at the door across the hall. And when Kate takes the steps and walks out from the stairwell, Ruby does turn and smile. Miss Kate?
Well, hello there. You, well, it's just real nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
You doing all right, sweetheart?
I'll be doing better when I can figure out what happened to my parents. They are missing.
Well, I'm real sorry about that.
It's not your fault. And you see the door is a little bit open, and she opens it for you, allowing you entrance into Syl Jefferson's.
Syl, where are you?
Yeah. Oh, Miss Kate, you see that there are still the memorabilia of aeronautics and applied physics books stacked up, and not much of the accessories have changed, but the room is neat, and the apartment is neat and tidy. And you do see Dwight lying on a couch as Einstein is sitting reading through one of the applied physics books politely.
Good evening, gentlemen. Syl, I wonder, is that phone still down the hallway?
It is, yes.
All right then. Give me just a minute. I'll be right back.
Kiana has also gifted advantage to all of the Olympians.
Yes.
There is a war brewing in chat.
Keep it coming.
Okay,
I love being at the center of this Cold War. That's pretty cool. All right, so Kate heads down toward the phone. Because as I recall, this is in a public place. It's in a common room or something, right? Anybody else around?
It is clear for right now.
All right. Kate picks up the phone and connects with the operator and gives her, what time of day is this? Remind me. We early afternoon, or it's evening now, isn't it?
Yeah, you're just right about sunset right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So 7654. She's going to take the gamble and call the offices. So she's asking to be connected to the office of Parsons Aeronautics, Cloverfield, California.
Okay, so as the call is going through and it's being routed and rerouted, and there's the click of circuits being bridged and cut across the country. You realize as you're waiting, and the call like this is nowhere near instantaneous, as it usually would take several minutes for it to even just relay from one part of the country to the other. And as this clicking and as this whirling continues to go through this electronic type of symphony, you hear like a crackle in the line. It sounds like the discharge of energy. It sounds like the just an arc, perhaps, an inventor's arc, as for a moment you hear a woman's voice, a voice that is completely unfamiliar to yours, and it says, "Honey, find Jack Kilgrave. Go now. We're coming. We're coming." and then it fades out. As if from the ether.
Kate sort of opens her mouth and cracks her jaw a little bit like she would if she was popping her ears.
Moment later, everything cracks through, and the call rings through for Parsons, and the phone is answered, and what would be the relay, you get to the Parsons switchboard, and they send you through, and the phone picks up. Hello, Parsons, Wally.
Wally? Wally, is that you?
Kate?
Yeah, it's me. Oh my God, how are you?
Kate O'Callahan died. This isn't funny.
No, Wally, I ain't dead, sweetheart. I'm right here.
This ain't funny. This is not funny. This is
Wally.
not.
Wally, stop. I tell you what, you ask me anything that happened on that raft, I can tell you, detail for detail. There ain't nobody else in the world that knows that, just you and me.
Katie, this can't be you. Is this you?
Yeah, Wally, it's me, sweetheart, in the flesh.
Oh my God, he was right. He was right. Oh my God, he was right.
Is he there?
No. No, he ain't.
Well, damnation. I ain't got no connections in this world. Where is he?
He went looking for you.
Went looking. Well, where'd he go?
I don't know. He just left me a note. It said he said he went looking for you.
Look, Wally, if you hear anything from him, would you let me know? I'm gonna give him the number.
Absolutely. Kate, I can't believe this. This is the best news, right?
Wally, how's Susie? She all right?
Yeah, she's fine. She's gonna be better now. She's gonna be a lot better now.
All right. Well, hey, sweetheart. One other thing. You don't. Jack didn't come out here at some point and pick up Jane, did he?
We got her. She's here.
Oh, she's there at the hangar.
She's here. We got her. Just as you left her, we got her right here.
You still got your qualifications, sweetheart?
I'll be there day after tomorrow.
I'll see you then. You tell Susie I said hi. Tell her I'm sorry.
I will. I'm not sure how Calamity's gonna like me behind the stick, but I'm coming. I'm coming, Kate.
Now just be careful with the thrust to weight, because with those machine guns up front, and they're still there, right?
We didn't change a thing. We didn't change it.
So just be
Jack
careful.
was.
She's going to be really sloppy on the takeoff, but you just pull it back. She'll be fine. She'll treat you all right. I promise.
Kate, Jack left you something, but he told me not to talk about it unless I saw you. So I'm gonna bring it with me, okay?
All right. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Will do. I'll call you as soon as I get in.
All right.
And he hangs up.
Click. Kate and Allison both take a deep breath of relief. And Kate walks back towards Syl's apartment.
Okay, let's cut and see what Dwight is doing, since we've caught up with everybody now. Dwight, you had some time there by yourself before the arrival of Kate O'Callahan. What would Dwight have been doing during this time?
Well, Dwight is, he's pretty much in a situation where he's in unfamiliar territory. He's, with a bunch of people he doesn't know, and things have pretty much went sideways pretty fast, and he's pretty banged up. So he somehow gets up to the apartment. Of course, he's always as they were getting there, he was doing spot hiddens in the vehicle to make sure he wasn't getting followed, making sure he knows that they want Kilgrave. So he at some point, noting that, like we discussed this, knowing that they had we have Ruby, and we went to Borneo to get her, and he knows she has some sort of ability. He doesn't know what it is. He can't explain, how Sabella does her thing, how a guy sets himself on fire, but he knows that she can do things, and he's going to try to convince Ruby as best he can, because I know she probably has some sort of connection to Kilgrave in some sort of way, to maybe see if she can help him in any way, shape, or form. Use whatever she's got to help him in the situation, to try to wake Jack. That's his number one goal, is to get Jack awoken. And he's happy to see Kate, because that's somebody that can help him. He's going to ask for help, and that's not something Dwight is used to doing.
Okay, but what we'll do is we're going to flash back a bit before Kate's arrival. So this would just be Syl, Professor Einstein, Ruby, and the comatose Jack Kilgrave in the apartment. Jack is put back onto Syl's bed, and he's lying as he did at the bookstore, just open-eyed, staring straight ahead. Appears to be in a state of catatonia. I mean, he's just completely unresponsive to everything. Ruby does go back and look at him, and as she looks and kind of reviews Jack, she pulls back after a few seconds and looks over at Dwight and says, "I can't help him."
Do you know even what may be wrong with him? And, is Einstein in the room too, or is he kind of still out in the living room?
Yeah, Einstein's wherever you need him to be, but this is a very small apartment, so Einstein's
Right.
probably in the doorway watching.
Right. Like, what's happened to him? How long has he been like this?
It was just the past few days. He sent Ruby's parents, and then
Ruby's parents, they were in Borneo.
she smiles. My other parents.
Your other parents.
This is hard to explain, but when we came back from Borneo...
Everything is.
Well, if it's like a bus, you all got off in 1933. I got off in 1923.
Like, Dwight kind of like, his mouth drops, literally, when he hears that. 23?
Yes.
Where in 23?
I was dropped off here in New York City, in Central Park.
Dwight kind of turns to Einstein. Like, how is that even possible? You know what I mean?
Well, you see, time is a very interesting construct. And he starts to go into it, and then he stops, and he just says,
Yeah.
It's a serious...
Layman's terms, Doc.
Yup, it happened.
Do you... I kind of look at Ruby. Do you still have abilities?
I do, yes.
And what can you do?
I can't help him. Nergo Bert, welcome to the party, pal. My father now could. He'd have more answers. If we could find him, he'd have more answers.
Where was the last time you saw your father? And who is your father?
She turns to Einstein. They were, her mother and father were you just 20 years ago.
You mean other
Olympians.
And Jack, did he lead this team?
From what he's told me, yeah.
Wow. So this goes even deeper then.
As you're sitting there kind of in your chair, turned and talking to Einstein, you feel a hand settle on your forearm. I would like you to roll 2d20 for me, please.
Where is the D20 at, Jude?
I'll do it for you if you want me to.
You can.
You have,
That'd be
you have
awesome.
to type it in.
Nice.
As a flood of warmth, almost to the point of not necessarily ecstasy, but just pure contentment, floods through the veteran soldier as the massive semi-healing wounds from the elephant gun close. And where there would be massive puckered flesh and scars, it is smooth and unblemished. And as you look up, you notice that Ruby's face gets a little more angular, as if she's lost a bit of weight, a little more lined, as if she's in need of a lot of water. And she looks for a second and nods.
Well, Dwight probably would grab her if he sees her getting kind of faint. And he's like, how did you do that? You know, like almost like he's like, every day he's more and more astonished at what goes on. And he kind of
from God
tries to sit her down a little bit and get her, get her oriented.
And about that time, Kate would enter into the apartment after having just made her call to Wally at Parsons Aeronautics.
Dwight kind of like looks at Ruby real quick and says, we'll find your parents, I promise.
At that, Kate gives Dwight a look like...
and it kind of, Dwight kind of looks at her like I'm healed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, look at me, He's almost like still got his hands like completely like astonished at what's just happened.
Ruby, you did that.
I did.
Well, thank you. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you all. I remember.
Can we like catch Kate up as what happened?
So we don't have to do backup narrative. Unless it's told to, if there's an absent Olympian that is not supposed to know information that occurs at a separate area, like we will ask Sabella whenever she rejoins the group if she's going to tell about her Phil Castillo dancing the night away. That's something that may or may not be delineated to the rest of the group. But as we kind of sit down, I want to fast forward to Friday morning. I would like to now go back to our mafioso in training, or one in training, one very, very trained, as we talk to Elijah and Greta. And where do we find them this early Friday morning? Did I not say that? Okay.
We lost Strider.
I was thinking they'd probably, unless there's... Oh, something happened. Hold on.
Yeah, I cut up for a second too.
Am I back?
Yeah, you guys seem to be back. Let me check the stream real quick and make sure we're...
Elijah and Greta are going to glitch out and leg through space and time.
Done. Everything is... It's 1943. What do you got?
Son of a bitch!
Okay, so yeah, the question to you all was the following morning. This would probably be not moments, but just a short period of time after the time spent with the Vatican inside confession. What would you be doing?
It seemed pretty imperative to try to hook up with the rest of the Olympians, so I was thinking try to head back to where Dwight said he was going to be, unless...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the sake of brevity, we will say that you all arrive early morning Friday.
We're dressed so fucking fancy.
Right. We'll have you guys describe how you're dressed as soon as you roll up into 116th Street, Harlem, as people are getting ready and going to work, and you guys are literally coming in for the evening, as you guys walk up to Sil Jefferson's, but before we finish the Thursday night, let's cut back to a dance. And as the club is beginning to clear out, Phil and Sabella Ives are the last two on the floor.
Well, this has been a very pleasant evening. Surprisingly, considering how bad it started.
Hey, you gotta, silver linings and all that, right?
Mm-hmm. I've heard that's a thing.
Me too, but, I really, you make your own silver linings.
You make silver linings?
That's what I do.
With
if someone
needle
pisses
and
me
thread?
off, you and I, a reader and a candle to read by, we make our own luck, You see these things that we do. We don't have to fucking put up with these assholes that tell us what to do. Like, fucking
That
Lecht.
is right.
I mean...
He is an asshole.
Right? I'm gonna touch your fucking hand to know that, right? I mean, come on. You don't need to hang around with that. You don't put yourself through that. That's when you need fucking silver linings, is when you got these people bringing you down and shit. You know? Bringing people like me to the bookstore. You think I'd ever walked in your bookstore?
No, it's a very high-class establishment.
It is. And I'll take that. And I'll take it. Right in the heart that you get, right? I'm right here.
Right
you took
there.
it right in here. Right.
there.
Oh, hurt me. Right in the ticker. But hey, if I'd have known, I'm not a big fan of books, but if I had known that there was a person going to sell me books that look like you, I might have become a big reader,
Alrighty. Okay. You need to put some water on that.
No, I don't like water very much. I'm not a big fan, right? Is what I am, right? It's like you're not a big fan of like darkness because like you can't read, right? That's not right, but that's close, So.
Oh boy. Alrighty. Well.
What do we do now? It's late. It's a Friday morning, but we make our own rules.
I've been, shot in the hip, so I'm gonna go home.
Shot in the hip? Who the fuck shot you in the hip? You've been dancing fucking up a storm here.
I know. Well, I'm a very good dancer. I take it in stride.
I'd like to see you without a fucking gunshot wound in your hip. Christ almighty.
Dancer.
I'm fucking like.
Yeah, I know you gotta keep
beef
up.
over here, right?
I know I'm good at it.
You're fucking great at it. You're
Yeah.
good. I'd like to do it again. Would you like to, maybe when your hip's okay,
Sure. Well, I, give you where you can call on me, but you already know because you tried to set it on fire.
I'm not gonna walk in your place unless you say, hey, it's okay. You can walk in, I know it's a public place. I could come in and like buy like a book or something, but not unless you say.
Fire. No fire in there.
No fire. Nope.
Not the literal kind. I'm gonna go.
Ooh. Wait.
I'm leaving. No.
Wait,
going. I have things to do. I do not.
My heart is mending in this area.
No, I gotta go, the gunshot wound and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit, it's pretty fucking hot. You had like a gunshot wound and like we drank all night and shit. It's pretty cool. You don't see that a whole lot,
No, you don't. I'm a very unique individual, but people do not give me enough credit.
Nah, you're surrounding yourself with assholes. That Kraut, fucking Lecht, Soldier Boy.
No, some of them are nice. The crowd is nice.
She's nice.
Yeah.
Have you heard her say the 12 words? No.
What?
Right? Does she speak? I mean, she has like no affect. Listen, I've been around.
She's a great driver.
She's a fucking great driver.
It's insane.
All right. Well, hey, how about this? We leave it alone. Had a nice night.
Douse.
Not gonna talk of silver linings and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll bump into you on the street, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Good
right.
night, then.
Good night, Miss
Good-
Ives.
Good night.
Good night.
Getting the fuck out of there, Greg.
I said good night.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
this
said
lady's
good night.
this lady's not leaving me alone. What am I
I'm
gonna do
literally
here?
walking to the door.
You go first.
I am. Don't
Stop
follow
looking back at me. Stop looking back at me with those eyes.
I'm not. I'm
You are.
leaving.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your gunshot self.
Okay.
Fucking
okay,
gunshot. You see her dancing? That's a fucking gunshot.
Okay.
Can you believe that shit?
She closes the door behind her and she leaves, Greg.
Okay. So as she gets out, where's Sabella going?
Oh,
And see.
boy. She's gonna... she'll go to Sills. As drunk as she is, she goes to Sills.
Okay, so we're gonna say, just because I want this to happen, this is early Friday morning. We're gonna say, by the time she walks and remembers that she's going the wrong way, she has a hard time in Harlem. Sometimes she goes north when she's supposed to go south when she's supposed to go north.
It's just the whole thing.
Right,
But
the
she
numbered
meets
sequence,
interesting
it's fucked up.
people.
Right, this is uptown. You're used to, right, so she kind of comes around. It's right around 6 in the morning whenever all of this kind of filters down. And as fate would have it, in front of Syl Jefferson's door, Greta, Elijah, and Sabella all hit at the same time.
Does she recognize Greta? Like,
Oh my gosh, your hair. It's so long! It's so pretty!
are you drunk, Fraulein Ives?
You don't know.
Is she drunk?
There's this thing called rolling for it.
Yeah.
So if you want to do like a psychology or you want to do a
I'm
spot
pretty
hidden,
sure I can medically detect it.
you can do a medicine check. Sure. Maybe.
You are.
Just a little bit. You know?
It's like this much.
It's medicinal. It's probably medicinal.
I have never been drunk a day in my life.
You are not a very good liar.
I usually am.
Not when you're drunk.
Ha! Right.
Mm.
Oh. What did y'all do? Y'all look fancy.
And at this point, why don't we have
Side-eyes Elijah a little bit. Like,
for those of us that did not see last night, I would like to have Lindy and Strider explain how their characters are dressed. Please. I'm going to sit back and drink.
Elijah's wearing a dark Merlot suit, the color of red wine or maybe blood, and he has mirrored lens glasses, big ones covering his face, because he liked the one federal agent guy's fashion sense. And the glasses are hiding, scowling at absolutely everyone. He is so jostled right now.
Greta is, compared to her usual very uptight button-up shirts, it's buttoned to the top button and lab coat, not very form-fitting. She is wearing a very slinky dark blue silk dress with a deep cowl neck and just complete open back, slit up the side, very clingy. Her hair is pulled down in long, kind of golden blonde waves, about to mid-shoulder, mid-bicep, to the top of her opera-length gloves that she has because she always wears gloves.
Oh yeah, well, Sabella's totally in a party dress. Nothing's well hidden about what she's doing. It's green. She only wears green when she's angry.
I would like...
Sorry.
No. Just at your leisure, continue the conversation. But Greta and Elijah, roll spot hiddens for me, please.
Okay.
What?
Fail.
I'm gonna use one of my advantages. Because I don't want to fail. Hey!
Good thing.
Hard
Nice.
success.
Okay, so for a moment, you just believe that Sabella must have gotten into something as her gloves are holding a smudge mark on one of the hands, but then as you look, you see that it appears to be scorch marks in the shape of fingers, like fingerprints on the outside of the gloves.
I'm really glad I used advantage now.
Greta
She kind of had like a bit of a pleasant demeanor on. She actually looked relaxed. She's gonna kind of clam back up a little bit and be like, Fraulein Ives.
Yes, Doc.
Who were you spending this lovely evening with? Drinking?
I'm gonna tell you all about it
Mm,
as soon as we're not maybe on the street.
but I would love to hear about it.
Good,
There
because
were-
we need to talk.
There were fireworks. Come on.
Yeah. Elijah says that, Greta's just like, just kind of goes up the stairs.
Okay, so as you all get upstairs, this is the time of day
And Greta
when
goes up the stairs first to have Sabella between her and Elijah, just in case.
She's humming.
So as you all get up the stairs, you are greeted by the local paper carrier, full Newsies. You know, he's got the cap on, he's got the kind of short pants on as he's running and dropping at the foot or the kind of the threshold of each apartment a copy of today's paper. Friday, what is it? July 28th, 1933. And
Anything fun on the cover?
Yeah, the cover actually says Armageddon, ? End of days, ?
Oh, great.
Nothing big.
Yeah, I'll take that inside.
Okay, so as you all are greeted and the Olympians are together, it is Friday morning. You are healed as well as can be expected because I'd like you to roll 1d20, Sabella. As soon as you get in, you feel the hug of one Ruby Foster.
Greta watches intensely.
11.
As 11 points come flooding into you.
Dwight is probably astonished to see Greta in a dress as well. He's probably like, there's the thing that he was not expecting today.
Right.
By 6 a.m.
Giant snakes, no problem.
I teeter a bit against, I'm between them, so back against Elijah, and I totally scoop her up. Well, it looks like everyone here had an okay evening.
Are you drunk, Sabella?
Yeah.
Dwight's already taken a nip anyway. He don't matter what time it's for him.
Tell him I'm drunk.
She is quite intoxicated, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you need to close the door. We need to talk. I have to talk to you guys like right now.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Kate steps out of the kitchen at this point with a cup of coffee and just takes in the scene. Well,
Kate, please tell me I'm not the only sober one here.
No, sir, you are not.
Thank God.
Fine.
Well, I don't know that this could have been planned any better.
I know, it's almost like someone's planning all this stuff that happens to us.
Almost. Well,
We don't make plans. We're bad at plans.
well, you know, Miss Ives, it's funny that you should say that.
Is it?
Because look, y'all, here's the thing. I don't have any idea what our status is. I don't know if we've been forgotten or disavowed. Hell, we could be wanted for murder for all I know, at least a couple of us, with a glance at Elijah. But it doesn't really matter because for all practical purposes, as far as I can tell, Project Athena is over. And Well, you can't lead a project that no longer exists.
Well, at least we have some good news then. Starting us off on the right foot. I like that.
Well, Kate stops for a second and look, y'all, I don't know what to do next. All I know is I'm not making the decisions for any of y'all anymore. So,
You're still the leader, Kate.
no, Mr. Burke, I am not. I don't know that we need a leader. I don't know that there's anything left to lead. Hell, I don't even know what we're supposed to be doing. For my part, I'm happy to keep on killing Nazis, but without the support that we had before, I don't know how we do that.
What about gangsters?
Well, what about them?
They're funny.
Greta has like a little smile when Elijah says that. She's just like,
We have to help Jack.
Jack! 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 Yes, Jack. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if there's anything we can do, we should.
I think I have more pressing matters to attend to.
What might that be, Mr. Sawyer?
He takes a small bag from his side and sets it down on the table. Sabella, that's yours for any damages sustained to your store.
So,
Yeah, I got
what
some
is this?
music or something coming from someone.
Yep.
No, thanks.
What is this? This is a bag. What is this?
There is $7,000 or so cash inside the bag.
That's not funny.
That is all yours. I'm being serious. We
Now,
can wait until you're cognizant if you prefer.
now I feel bad for what I said about you last night. But the store is fine.
What are you saying about?
The store is fine.
what did you say? Did you say it to your drinking companion, perhaps?
I did.
Greta looks like over at Elijah a little bit with like a.
Despite the big glasses, you can
Look
tell
on her
completely
face.
over his head.
uh,
The man in question that set the place on fire. You are aware of our Burning Man, yes?
yes.
She is quite aware.
We're going to have a problem. Greta, what's this about?
Oh, Savella, why don't you, Fraulein Ives, why don't you tell everyone you
we're-
had many drinks last night?
Yes, we are finally on a first name basis, Doc. That is so nice.
Tip of the tongue, I apologize.
So there's something about Harlem where handsome men with accents think that they can manipulate me against y'all. It's real funny. I had drinks with Phil Castillo last night, and we danced and we danced, and I did everything on him. He wants to.
The guy who burnt your store down, you danced with.
My store's fine.
Elijah's glasses hit the floor.
See, that's how glasses work, Greg. So yes, and he wants to kill Mr. Dietrich, and what was the other thing?
Elijah's gonna grab
fire's
Sabella by the
hereditary.
shoulders.
Yeah, his fire's hereditary.
So your new boyfriend offered you a job? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I told you it's a thing. It's something about Harlem.
I put a hit on him.
You did what?
He turns and looks at Dwight. The mafia, the mob, these folks, they're coming after him now, and that means he's going to be coming after us. And where's the only place he knows us staying at?
Either here, because he's been here before, or the store. But he said he wouldn't go in the store unless I gave him express permission. I'm a very good judge of character.
Can I talk to someone that's not inebriated, please? I can't stand drunks.
I take it back. I do not take back what I said about you last night.
I believe we may be in immediate danger. And I would, of course, not bring this up if I thought I could handle this by myself, but as the cards lay right now, I believe I may need some help.
Need some help doing what, Mr. Sawyer?
You put a hit out on a guy that we cannot kill. You do realize that.
He doesn't like water.
Now that we've been unable to kill so far, Soldier Boy.
Well, how do you propose to kill him?
That
Derelict.
is precisely why I need help. I have no idea.
Forgive me for saying so, Mr. Sawyer, but that sounds to me like a personal problem.
We'll
I
see how
agree.
personal it is when this place in the bookstore gets burned down.
Bookstore's
Um,
I do understand that I may have brought this problem to our group. But as you said, there is no more Project Athena. I'm sure you'd get cabin fever if you didn't have someone to aim your snaky gun at.
Well, there's a
There's a
few
cough
answers. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's a cough from the doorway as Einstein takes a moment to insert himself into the conversation. As of a few days ago, Project Athena was, albeit scaled back, was still active. Thomas, well, he left because he knew that if FDR continued to have problems, he would be conscripted into the weaponized military. And so, with the problems of the president, he decided to take his leave and try to find you all.
Dr. Einstein, what kind of problems is the president having?
You haven't heard?
No, we've been a bit. We've been out of it for a while.
I'm very sorry. He goes over and he plucks the, if I may, from Greta, takes the newspaper, whoever was holding it. He takes the newspaper and he opens it up and points to the interior kind of byline inside, or headline inside. And it says, FDR approval ratings slip again. There's talk of impeachment for him.
Well, over what? What's going on?
It's been quite a bit since you have all been gone. Perhaps you should reacquaint yourself with this America.
I never got acquainted in the first place. It would be like a whole
Good.
fresh experience.
You should do well, Fräulein.
What's going on? Bullet points.
If Elijah could, he would like to flip that newspaper back over to the Armageddon front page story and give it a quick once over, see if anything stands out.
Sure, give me a library use real quick, and I'll tell you how much you glean.
Sabella, you should look over that.
Okay. I love reading.
Hey!
Failed it. I'm very intoxicated.
You are intoxicated here.
How many Olympians does it take to... There we go.
I am jamming. It is already out of my system.
Elijah hates reading nonfiction.
Greta just analyzes the hell out of this newspaper.
The Armageddon comment seems to be directed towards the strange weather that has been occurring in New York City. You're able to glean that the cool weather that you've been experiencing here at the end of July seems to be a heat wave compared to what it's been like for the majority of the summer, as high temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, and it is now being attributed to a massive volcano eruption on the island nation of Borneo. And the Armageddon comment comes from the fact that there appears to have been a second volcanic eruption somewhere in Iceland.
Okay.
That's just that article, though.
All right. She'll read it out as information to the group.
Dwight was going to suggest that we get the hell out of New York. That would be his suggestion.
I believe once again your and I objectives align, soldier boy.
And I'm assuming that we explained to Sabella, Greta, and Sawyer about Ruby's parents and how she thinks that's the only way to have Jack and help him.
By getting her parents?
Yeah, you guys were brought up to speed on the fact that apparently when you guys came back in time, Ruby was dropped off in 1923, where you all were dropped off several months later in 1933. If there was someone here that wanted to make an occult roll, I may be able to give you some additional information as to why exactly that happened. Sure.
Can I do it?
Yeah, why don't you do it?
Success.
Okay, your knee-jerk is that perhaps because Ruby spent more time around the machine and inside the quarantine zone that had that bleed of strange vegetation and strange animals, where there was an active rift, that it affected her to the point where she was more susceptible to this process of teleportation, and it affected her and perhaps Bailey differently.
You mean Bali? Bali, right? Just
sure.
I just want to make sure we're talking about the same person. It's confusing sometimes.
It's the same person, yes.
Ruby, where is Bali?
I've never seen him again.
Oh.
Where did Mueller go?
Einstein steps forward. He told Jack that he was going after you all, but he attacked Caduceus. He believed the answers were inside the Meadham building.
He attacked Caduceus?
It's what he
With
said.
what?
When?
A few nights ago.
Oh, he's okay.
I haven't seen him.
He was at the bookstore about 24 hours ago, and he left a message in Jack's hand.
What do you mean?
He flew up, I think, to my window, and he stuffed a piece of paper in Jack's hand that was a quote from a book, which is probably still in my store. Oh, I should go back.
Elijah pulls out the book as well.
Yeah, Elijah. Greta's just like...
Did you take that?
I saved it from burning.
The building was quite on fire.
The bookstore is fine. The fire was not that strong. Well, did you find anything in it?
Elijah would like to give his cryptic note over to Einstein and see if he has any input on it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't mean anything to Elijah.
What does it say?
You should tell us, Keeper. I know. I remember, but you should repeat it.
What, the quote?
No, the cryptic note that we found in the AutoCAD.
The cryptic note that you found in the AutoCAD was, it said, at the ground beneath the tug Pegasus.
Does that sound familiar? Ooh, but more notes.
I will have Dwight and Sabella roll idea rolls right here.
Okay. Idea rolls.
Which is
Work.
intelligence.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll it. Just type it in and roll it. That is a regular success.
Okay.
Am I rolling intelligence?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so when you guys hear this, it kind of sets with you for a moment, and you both realize Dwight more because of his experience in the military, and Sabella more because of your just experience as a New Yorker. A tugboat would be called the Tug Pegasus, as they always precede the name of the ship with the occupation it performs in 1933 New York City.
It's a boat.
It's a tugboat. I guess we both get it at the same time. Where is the tugboat? At this location?
I don't know what's at this location, but are we sure Tom left this?
Was in the automat box with a roast beef sandwich.
He didn't look good when I saw him. He looked sick. Not sick, but real tired. What did he go to Caduceus for again? Mr. Einstein?
He said that he was going to get the treasures that the Olympians had uncovered in Bolivia.
Oh. Oh. Oh! So just putting things together.
He would not tell me what these were, though. He said it was for my own safety.
They were real nice, happy, yummy feeling things. It's fine. I think... Okay, the Tug Pegasus. Well, maybe we can look up where that is.
Might I suggest a trip to the New York Public Library? You could...
I love the library.
Yes, you could search for many different things and perhaps learn a bit more of 1933 as it stands now.
I think that's a great idea. Miss Ives, would you mind terribly if I accompanied you to the library?
You can go wherever you like, Mr. Callahan.
Well, all right then. I suppose it's settled. Mr. Sawyer, what are you going to do about your friend?
My first intention is to catch a good morning's rest. Then, after that, hopefully I'll come up with a plan.
I would just like to make a small suggestion that that maybe you catch your night's rest or your morning's rest somewhere where your mere presence is not putting the lives of innocents in danger.
I may or may not have mentioned all of you as well. Just food for thought.
Yeah. Ruby stands up and says, Elijah is fine here. If it's all the same.
Elijah kind of deflates at that. No, Ruby, maybe she does have a point then.
Well, you can't stay at the bookstore anymore.
Dwight kind of should we check the building? Like kind of, cuts the tension here.
Sure, make sure the building is safe.
The Caduceus building.
Oh, well, if Tom just went there, maybe we should do a little research on it before we just go there.
Well, we could scout it out. I could go check it out and see what's going on.
Yeah.
You guys hit the library.
Yes.
And I can check the Caduceus building to see what's what. I won't go infiltrate the place though.
Okay. I do also have bills to pay and locksmiths to meet. So I have to do that too.
And $7,000 in cash.
I mean, I will accept it. Buy some nice locks.
Greta is going to, like, as if she remembers something when you said bills to pay.
What? No. No.
She's going to say, oh, this is for you. Pulls out a package and just hands it to Drunk Bella.
Did you call me Drunk Bella? I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Why is this for me?
It has your name on it.
Does it? Where'd you find it?
It was in the bookstore that was burning down. So I saved it for you.
I have to roll a psychology roll. And I have to fail it. Because that's how this goes. I failed it. Okay. Well, thank you. I mean, why'd you pick this one?
It was the only package. The rest looked like bills.
Oh. Great. I read the label on the package, Greg.
As soon as your eyes touch the handwritten address and return address, you immediately begin to get emotional as you see the script of Lewis Ives.
Thank you, Doc.
Is that obvious emotion, or can we get a spot hidden on that?
Sabella starts, first of all,
Psychology is what it would be.
Smile goes away, and it's just like heavy breathing.
Maybe perhaps I should have made you sit down first. I did not.
That's not my name.
Your name is not Fraulein Ives.
No, it's Ives. Is there a date on here? Anywhere? Any, like, stamps or anything?
A postmark date? No.
Nope. Looks like it was dropped off.
Could I, real quick, Greg, how many hours has it been since the bookstore?
Since the bookstore?
Yeah.
It would have been less than 12, you know, right around 12.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
No, a little bit longer than that because it was morning in there, so it'd be like 18.
Okay, perfect. Great. I just might need to open this real quick. It may or may not be urgent. I mean, it's probably not urgent because the name on here is someone who is dead, but I should probably check it before we go to the library. So, is there another room in here, Ruby? Sil, is there another room in here?
You guys are all kind of cramped in here, and she's kind of moving back and forth with glasses of water and like lemonade and stuff. And she goes, you can, my bedroom, it's just Jack.
Oh, that's not awkward. It's not awkward. I will go in there and just sit with him for a second, just backing away out of this room.
You go in, the doors, the windows open just a bit as the cool breeze, which shouldn't be cool in July, blows in, and you hear the sounds of Harlem as the city comes to life, and Jack is just lying in the bed staring straight up.
Oh, I call back out. Did anybody figure anything out about Jack, by the way?
He is in the same catatonic state as Haranish is in.
Do we know how to fix that?
Not yet. I hadn't had time to study before we were whisked off to another country.
Oh, right. Do you want to come in here and look at him more?
Sure.
If you want.
Since they brought up the Tyrannish, when we have time, Elijah is going to ask Einstein if any progress was made over, the 6 months we were gone.
Greta has much to talk about with Einstein.
Say, weeks after you left, beginning of April, they kicked us out of the building. Tom was furious. It led to him having his attack on the building. I do not know what has become of the Tyrannish.
Shut the door as quietly as I can because I'm so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Yep, and I'm in there with you because you asked me
Oh,
to come
I
and look
did.
at
I
Jack.
told you could come in because I trust you because you saved my package from that burning building.
I did.
Get in here, girl.
I so did. That's totally what happened.
Yep. Okay. Since Greta's in here, I try to act very calm. Just lots of deep breathing, and I'm going to.
Don't hyperventilate. You are intoxicated. So
I am coming out of it, Doc. Let me tell you.
that is good. The package did seem to have a sobering effect on you.
You are so observant.
It is my job.
All right, I'm going to so gently, just ever so neatly open this thing.
Okay, it's roughly 3/4 the size of a traditional shoebox. It's covered in brown paper with twine at the time, almost bound like you would see something bound at a butcher's. And as soon as you kind of carefully cut through the twine and carefully remove the brown paper, there's loose, almost sawdust, curls of wood used as sort of a buffer or a protective kind of barrier between the packaging and the object inside. And once you clear all of that off, you are left with a mahogany wooden box that appears to have no lid. And the box itself is almost perfectly in a cube, 4x4x4, roughly. It's a little bit bigger than 4 inches. It's like 4 1/8, 4 1/8, 4 1/8. And as you're looking at it and examining this cube, when you get over towards the blind side, there is scratched in the surface, open only at the French Cathedral in Berlin.
Okay. Does this look familiar at all?
Well, since scratching is not necessarily penmanship, it's difficult to see the origin of this. So you can't tell if this was Lewis or somebody else that scrawled this in here.
I was asking about the box. Does it look like a kind of puzzle box that I would have read about or know of?
I will let you make an occult roll, but this is going to need to be an extreme.
Okay. No, just regular.
Kind of in the edges of your mind. Maybe if you did some more research on this in particular, you might be able to figure out something. But as it stands right now, it's definitely not normal. It's because you cannot detect any seams or seals in this box, and nothing in nature is constructed out of mahogany in this type of configuration. So if it were created, it appears hollow. As you move it, you feel something inside slide. So obviously there's a way to open it, and it's not just carved directly from a block or a tree or, it at some time was open to introduce whatever's inside.
Greta, what's the French Cathedral in Berlin?
Craig, what would I know about the French Cathedral in Berlin?
Yeah, you would know that the French Cathedral in Berlin is an ancient site. It's been there for several hundred years. It is grand. It is Gothic. It is, despite its name, super duper German. And it rests right around town center in Berlin. And while it's not really in vogue right now, Germany.
Really.
It was the site where many a German ruler would be sworn in, if that were the appropriate term for the time,
Okay.
throughout the centuries. It's a seat of power transferal, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, she'll explain that to Sabetta. Why do you ask?
Oh, it's scratched into this box that my dead grandfather apparently sent me.
Oh, well, then perhaps we need to go take a trip to Berlin in the future.
That doesn't seem like a good idea for anybody.
Probably not, but I could guide you around if we did go. I'm quite familiar with the city.
Now, while you guys are in this room, Dwight, did you want to head up to the roof? You made mention of the fact that you were trying to get a.
Yes.
Okay, so Dwight, you head up. It's a familiar setting. You've been on this particular perch before, and the day is dawning, and the sun, while not quite piercing through the ridgeline of the high scrapers that are getting bigger, it's a beautiful, if somewhat chilly day here in New York City. And your rifle is with you, I presume?
Yeah. I am definitely on guard.
Okay. Think nothing of it. Okay. So yeah, you're on the roof of 116th Street, Syl Jefferson's apartment. What's everyone else doing now that we have?
I haven't had the chance to see that newspaper yet, so I want to take a look at that, see what I can find.
Sure. Give me a library use, and I'll let you know what you kind of glean quickly from it.
I'll take one of my I'll take an advantage on that as well. So a regular success. So just the regular success.
Yeah. Okay, just gleaning through, you come up with several little bylines that are, several little like subheadings and just blurbs and whatnot. You see the aforementioned Armageddon end of days, secondary volcano fires, will we ever see summer? That you also see FDR approval rating drops, Alderman Pete Abraham telling New Yorkers to continue to support the president. You see a couple interesting ones as you get further down. You see one that says Berlin sends foreign aid to farmers of American Midwest. It's accompanied by a picture of military officers that are handing out crates of what appear to be grain and food to those kind of Dust Bowl Midwest farmers that are in desperate need of help. You also see it says Ballantine Ale marks record earnings for second quarter, thanks in large part to their new European agreement with German brew houses. And the final one that you see as you turn the page, it's more of the living section. It says, former Vice President Charles Curtis visits Berlin. United Skies Initiative underway. Berlin, American, joint effort.
New York's just feeling more and more like home, y'all.
Okay.
I hate those 6 months so much. 4 months, whatever.
Oh, it also says the zoo will be open in a few months.
Hey, as long as my own obituary's not in there, I think it's not a bad Thursday.
You could find that. It was a couple months back, but.
Oh, I will.
I'm ready.
Greta, did you have something?
Yeah, Greta wants to do this because I was looking through my notes the other day. I was like, oh yeah, Greta wouldn't have forgot this. So after Sabella has opened the package and asked about the cathedral, Greta would be like as if she remembered something. Oh, Fräulein Ives, I believe you wanted to examine something of mine after I did the psychoanalysis on everyone in the group. And I believe enough time is passed with the stuff that happens that it would not be compromising their privacy. And she's gonna open up her doctor's bag, which she hasn't really been into since getting fancied up, so that Elijah's stuff hopefully isn't compromised. But And a gesture to her lab coat.
Oh, right now?
If you want, if not, we can wait till later. It's fine.
I'm just trying to, don't know if I want to look at this scratchy stuff or.
I will remind you that you have done a reading by candlelight just a few hours prior.
That was last night, and magic ones come back one every
You have not
hour.
slept yet.
They come back every hour. Just that's what I asked you. How many hours have passed? Maybe later.
All right. Just figured I would offer.
What would you like to do, Olympians?
I'll examine Jack.
Yay!
Since Bella was like, maybe later. She's like, fine. Jack.
You can roll me a medicine check.
Hard success.
Nice.
With a little bit extra time to take a look at Jack now that he's lying in here, it takes you.
Now that cars aren't exploding outside and stuff.
Right. You spend about 30, 45 minutes on him. You come up with the following. Because you were able to glean the Tyrannish effect, if you want to call it that, you notice a couple things. One, Jack's eyes do not seem to be drying out, and he is not blinking. You also notice that even this might be more of asking Syl and Professor Einstein. They have tried to feed him and give him water the past couple days. He has taken none of it. He does not seem to be experiencing the effects of malnutrition or dehydration. His breathing is incredibly shallow, but it is existent. And there is no perceptible heartbeat.
Okay, that's an interesting fact there, because he's breathing, but there's no heartbeat. She's going to be a nerd about it and just examine him.
Does his condition, I mean, does it seem like it's, I know there's a physical part to it, but does it seem like it's more mental? Like, I don't know.
Because that was a hard success, Lindy would be able to tell you that there is no type of like rapid eye movement. It doesn't appear, just from physical observation, that there is any type of like higher brain function. Something that, if you would see to twitching or, like I said, rapid eye movement or any type of elevations of pulse due to stimulus, that type of thing. He just seems to be kind of flatlined.
I guess my question is, does it seem... No, I guess that's the answer to that. Okay. Got the box. There's Jack. I'll call through the door. I'm ready to go to the library if y'all are.
All right then. Grab my coat and head for the door.
Is Elijah still there?
He is. He's not fallen asleep quite yet. He's been talking to Ruby, chatting with people. That's what he does.
So what would the Olympians like to do? We have Sabella and Kate going to the library. Where would Greta and Elijah like to go, if anywhere?
Behind his mirrored glasses, he puts on slouches in a chair on a sofa, pretending to sleep, no one seeing his eyes constantly darting to the door of the room Jack's staying in.
The room that Greta's in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Greta will walk out after. She can't really do much for Jack because she has a very profound lack of medical equipment. What she wouldn't give for an EEG machine right now, but what can you do? So she'll come out of the room, just see who's left inside after doing her good thorough examination. Go over at Elijah. Try to see if he is asleep. Those mirrored shades, though, because I don't know if she wants to sleep with him in there now. Yeah. What kind of check can I make to see if I'm being glared at?
If you're being glared at, well,
Yeah.
these
Like,
glasses.
Is he asleep?
I don't know.
Does
I don't
he
know if
have
you know how
those-
glasses work,
Fucking
Lindy.
glasses.
Is he like having sleep breathing patterns?
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
a persuasion check for me, Elijah, to see if you can persuade the doctor to think you're sleeping. If you want to make a medicine check, Doc, we can
Sure.
contest it.
Okay. If it'll roll. Maybe? Any day now.
Roll 20.
Yeah, come on, roll 20.
Go.
What you doing, 20?
Go.
Wow,
Nice,
that's like
sir.
the longest lag I've had in a while.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get 6 of them here in a second. But
You might get 2.
as you're staring there, awaiting your medical response to whether or not Elijah is asleep, you can't tell as these glasses. Damn, are they a clever device to really kind of keep everything close to the vest, so to speak.
I'm gonna go pull him off. I swear to God.
As you guys get to the grandeur of we're just going to cut forward to you all, Kate and Sabella getting to...
Oh, I told Ruby to watch over Jack.
Sure thing. Got to the public library. You guys are able to go in. Is there anything in particular that each of you want to... You don't have to work on the same thing. You can work on something different. Just give me a topic, and then we will pick up the RP whenever time permits next week.
I know the tug Pegasus was big on the list, as well as what the heck's going on in New York, although I think Kate got a lot of that with the newspaper. So for me, the tug Pegasus is the first thing on the list, and anything else I can find out about that kind of puzzle box.
Okay.
I might have to go to my store for that.
Right. But maybe you might be able to find where to go beyond your own store. That might be, it's kind of like this is the old internet. You're at Google headquarters right now. It's a National Public Library or the Public Library. Okay. Kate, anything in particular you're looking up?
Yeah, I think we'll continue to look up some news on just current events and really try to get a grip on what's changed in the time that we've been gone. And if I come across my own obituary, I wouldn't be upset just to see what they're saying about me.
Sure thing. Just writing all this down so I can make sure I have it for next week. So did you guys fall into your routine of looking kind of split up? You're in different sections here. Yes.
Greg, before as we're entering,
take your time. I'm not pushing.
No, okay. It won't take long, I bet. As we're about to enter, Kate just stops on the steps for a moment and says, Sabella.
Yes, Ms. O'Callahan.
Yeah. Look, I just wanted to say, I'm real sorry. I'm so sorry. If I could, Sabella, if I could go back and do it all different, I'd do it again. I was just I thought I was trying to protect you and protect us in the bookstore, and it all went wrong, but I'm just real sorry. I wanted to tell you that.
You're sorry. Bookstore's fine, Miss O'Callahan.
Love, welcome to the party, pal.
Come on.
So as you all get into the library and split off and go to your separate sections, current events, and maybe the nautical information of current boat registries that might be docked in some more of the public records sections of the public library. You guys split up and go in your way. Sabella, as you're sitting there, and you actually had an assistant come back with you, and being a fellow, book enthusiast, is familiar with Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, and there are these incredible kind of large bound binders with reams of file, like punched 3-punched papers that are kind of just put in these great big binders, and you pull them off the section of the bookshelves, and this, they weigh maybe 20 pounds a piece. And as you pull one of them off and you go to move it over to a area through the bookcase, you see Phil Castillo as he goes, "Hey, you come here to the library too? What? You found me out."
I did. I caught you.
And with that, we're going to cut back to 116th Street as Dwight Burke is smoking a cigarette, watching the ground around the apartment, making sure that from his bird's eye view, nothing gets past the sniper extraordinaire. But being a sniper, one that's as regimented to earthbound targets as he is, it's not until the shadow passes overhead that Dwight's eyes gaze directly above him. The bad boy strikes as 2 massive zeppelins bearing the swastika of a united Germany creep over the city. And that is
Dwight cigarette goes, "What the fuck?" The
And
cigarette
that-
drops out of his mouth. What the fuck?
And that is where, with the what the fuck of Dwight Burke, that is where we win this episode of Pulp Cthulhu's Project Athena. There we go. So with the Cold War firmly, the atomic age Cthulhu in chat, as the escalations begin between the various factions, we're going to see that delineated down into the storyline as a previously a non-included force has now entered the fray in New York City as these 2 Zeppelins have taken the skies. Ladies and gentlemen, I love this game. I love all these people. Let's talk to them. Allison, what'd you think?
Hey, great game, everybody. Thanks especially to those of you that donated. I'm contractually obligated to thank Grant, and I'm thrilled to thank Summer for her generous donation. Love you, sister. And can't wait to see where this goes and where I can use all those crits, because I'm ready. I am so ready to kill some bad guys. I don't really even care who they are. Until then, you can find me on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. Catch me on the God's Fall podcast with new episodes, second half of season 4, hitting weekly now, and on WanderQuest as well. Things getting very exciting for Astrid Dane, the barbarian scholar, and her loyal companions. So hope to see you there as well. Thanks, everybody.
There we go. That's what Kate has to say. What does Lauren have to say?
I had the best time. I had the best time tonight. Oh, I'm so happy. Thanks, Summer and Kenna. We love you. And others. I'm just, this was great. And I can't wait for next week because I love this game so much. I think about it way too often, especially as I'm like a week out of finishing my thesis, but I'm just thinking 1933, gotta think about 1933. But when I'm not here, those other times, you can find me DMing on Encounter Roleplay tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST doing some D&D 5e, and then on Tuesday nights playing City of Mist with 6 and 20 Metropolis on Video Store Cowboys channel at 8 p.m. EST, where I play what are we calling her? vibrant VIP vessel, so you can't guess what she is. But it's like superheroes meets legends meets noir, and it's super fun.
It is. It's a great system. If you haven't checked it out, I think it's on sale right now, actually today. If you go to the City of Mist Twitter, I'll retweet it on my Twitter feed if you are so inclined. Now it's like 20% off, which is a great deal. It's a huge, like 500-page book. It's nuts. Dwight, Steve, what the fuck?
Hey, I just want to say how fantastic you are, Greg. You've done such a great job. I want to start off by saying that. Hey, listen, awesome though. That's right, dude. Everybody's awesome. Follow all these great people. I love them all. Tonight was a great episode. Thank you for the help, Gigi. Thank the ladies for what they did, and then Grant. Well, I can't. You keep coming with it, and I like it, man. I can't say I have to admit it's pretty awesome. So thanks to everybody, and have a good one. Oh wait, go WVU tonight too. Go Mountaineers. Beat up Fordham Town.
Yes, if you recall, Dwight, upon his deathbed at 1 hit point, told Kate make sure he was buried in West Virginia, and that is art imitating life. And also, feels the power, daddy. Anyway,
boom.
As we go to Strider, what do you got, buddy?
Oh man, what a great game. I know I have cracked the meta code. I know why the world is so cold and why New York, everything. It's Josh and his fucking druid, isn't it?
That's it. It's the cross. Everything is just an apex moment, right?
Big shout out to Lauren and Drunk Bella's. That RP was fantastic. I loved that. Highlight of the session. Yeah, check me out. I'm here next week, man. Yeah.
Where can we find you, buddy?
Strider Heap on Twitter and doing other stuff that doesn't need to be plugged and pushed and whatnot. If you're in the loop, you're in the loop. You know what's going on.
If you're cool, you already know it, right? Awesome, buddy. Lindy, what did you think?
Drunk Bella was probably my favorite thing. I was laughing so hard. I was at the same time, I was like, no, but yes. So many conflicting emotions. I loved it. I also loved how Greta and Elijah were on such good terms. And then last night happened, and now they're both kind of like, I don't know if I can trust this person anymore. It's gonna make for some interesting RP in the future. I'm very excited. I loved tonight's session. I can't wait to see where next week goes. Germany's coming to America. It's like I never left. This is I mean, it's terrible because there's Nazis, but man, maybe we'll get some good schnitzel here finally. But yeah, you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy. On my own channel, I do Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesdays, some video games, cosplay streams throughout the week. Also here every Sunday. You can also find me on Wednesdays with this guy doing some Call of Cthulhu on Encounter Roleplay. We also do a Call of Cthulhu podcast that gets released every Tuesday. And also premiering this Thursday on WebDM's channel, I will be playing with the bad boy Grant himself in a campaign as a tiefling bard. So that'll be really exciting.
I believe it's called Between Two Rivers.
Between Two Rivers. Yes, I'll be playing Mer Valentine.
Oh, nice. As for me, your benevolent keeper, who is as surprised as you are when all these things start to happen, it's shocking, really, every Sunday night. I appreciate chat so much. I appreciate the fans of the show so much. Grant, Summer, Kiana, you guys, Roller is always there for the madness. Love you all so much. I do feel the power all the time when I'm here. But you guys are the best. Where you can see me the rest of the week, I will not be on tomorrow. I had a scheduling conflict, so I will not be able to do Reign of Terror tomorrow. But on Tuesday, I will be starting on WebDM, doing a Twitch show, a little bit of D&D in space, if you will. Starward Bound, where I will be playing a halfling arcane trickster named Elry Tossbottle. Get ready. It's going to be something. Wednesday Cthulhu. Wednesday night, doing a little City of Mist. Learn by plays on Saturday night. But right here, 1933. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Olympians of all ages, take care of yourselves in 2018. It's rough out there. We'll be here waiting for you in 1933. We'll see you next week.